Hello YouTube audience. I have a sudden video to make. I took a walk today and picked up this plant. Looks like some kind of a rhododendron or azalea to me, but I don't know the variety. I picked up this tree on the road. Um, People are probably digging plants they don't want out of the ground and throwing them away so that they can plant new plant they actually want into their ground. But I like this plant, so I took it. So this video probably will be called Bonsai from the garbage can. And also this pot is also a thrown away pot, which is not a bonsai pot, and I drew a hole under it. These type of indoor plant pot normally don't even have a drainage hole, so they cannot be called a pot, and they are only humidity trays. So two garbage, both the pot and the plant is from the garbage can, and I think they will be a perfect fit with each other. So I'm simply going to tease away some of the old garden soil and simply try to fit it into the pot. And this has been sitting outside in the sun for a whole day, but the plants still look pretty much alive to me. So I will try to rescue this plant because the soil is so dry. It's very easy to tease away. I can even just use my hand. I was trying to use the chopsticks, but it may not even be necessary. Just going to get rid of these low quality garden soil, mainly mud, and you can still see a good amount of fibrous root underneath. So the plant looks very good. Probably not good for the original owner, but it looks very good to me. The foliage are still green, and I think I can rescue this. I think so. I'm simply going to quickly tease away this old mud, which is from the original garden. Today is May the 20th, so we are still in Seattle. We are still in an okay time frame for repotting. And this is really a rescue, so we cannot hope that everything is perfect. It's maybe too much of a luxury to hope for that, but I still think this is very close to being perfect. And now I'm just going to try and fit it in the pot. It's still a little bit too much. I'm going to cut away some of the bigger root. So working with bonsai really make you develop this respect for plants, and even just a throw away garbage to some people, it could be a treacherous thing to others. This plant just looked very good to me, a lot of character. I'm going to get a pruner very quick and try to prune away a little bit of the root. I seems never to remember to get all my tools before I start video, but I hope it still works. So I'm trying to make a cascade tree, and the main thing I'm trying to get rid of is the roots on this side, and also sideways roots that is preventing me from putting the plant into the pot. Otherwise, I'm going to try to save as much root as I can. Alright, let's test fit it. All these lower root I'm keeping. The root underneath, trying to get rid of some of the woody root underneath, which is not necessarily associated with much fibrous root, which are the good roots. Still a little bit, need to remove a little bit more resistance from here. And these roots, we don't really have much fibrous root here. It's all structural roots, woody roots, and many of which are dried already. Okay. Okay, I think this is a good fit for right now. Some bigger root. Okay, I'm going to make it a semi-cascade. A cascade, I think. This is a full cascade, like that. So, now I'm going to fill in soils. I'm trying to fit all the root I can keep into the pot. If I don't need to get rid of roots, I don't want to, because this is a rescue plant and it doesn't have much root to start with. Because I'm not sure if this is really a rhododendron or not. I'm using half pumice, half akadama. So a true rhododendron, let's see, half kanuma, half akadama. A true rhododendron can be planted in 100% kanuma, which is a typical acidic soil, because rhododendron is acid-loving plant, so it's very suitable to grow it in acidic soil like kanuma. Oh, this is probably going to be a little bit difficult to fit the soil in there. How do I feed the soil in? That's a question. Because this side is probably difficult, but I will try my best. I think as long as I'm patient, I should be able to fit the soil into this. I should be able to. You can see how small these leaves are. And small leaves is a hallmark for good material for bonsai. And this is very good. And poking the soil to send them into the root. Hopefully this will improve the contact of the soil with the root. It's this side that's difficult. And now on the screen is the right hand side. It's very difficult to get into. Okay, I think that's what I can do to try to fill it in nicely. Ooh, Somehow the camera got shifted. I don't know how long it has been shifted. Hopefully it's not too bad. Now I'm going to water the plant in, and then I'm going to put some sphagnum moss as top dressing. I also forget my sphagnum moss, so I'm going to take the sphagnum moss don't have much sphagnum moss left here. Most of my sphagnum moss is in school, because I'm doing a big project with the University of Washington right now. But I think I will still have enough, just enough moss for this plant. It should be perfect. So the sphagnum moss is a good humidity indicator, and also a good humidity keeper. It's going to keep the root base from drying out. It also changes color when it's dry. Now you are seeing its wet color, which is darker color, and when it starts to dry, it turns white. So we will be able to tell whether the plant needs watering very conveniently with the top dressing of sphagnum moss. Trying to cover the surface with the sphagnum moss so that all these roots hopefully doesn't dry out. Going to be very, very careful with my watering schedule to keep the plant alive. Hopefully, I think the plant is well alive right now, but if I'm not careful enough, the plant could be dead in the future. Although people just dug it out from the garden and throw it on the side of the road, I think for maybe less than a day, the plant is still I don't even think it has much loss. A lot of the leaves are still green and look well hydrated. That's why I am confident that this plant is still well alive. And when I look at the root system, I do think this is a rhododendron of some sort. There are, of course, challenge associated with this plant, because a lot of dead wood feature on the plant, but I think it's a good challenge. It gives it a lot of character. Oh wow, that's such a nice fit. I only have that much sphagnum moss left, and it just fit perfectly. So throw away plant, throw away pot, throw away moss. But my soil is actually pretty good, pretty expensive soil. So the most expensive thing in this bonsai is probably the soil. Okay, let's go back to the front. Just try to surround any space on the surface with sphagnum moss. I'm just trying to cover all the root that's exposed as good as I can. I don't want the roots to be dehydrated. Okay. Back to the front. More watering, and then I think we will be done. Let me push the plant back a little bit, and we should see the whole plant. And more watering. So watering number one is very, very crucial. We need to water more than we think the plant needed, because the soil will dry, completely dry, and the more water the soil, I mean the bonsai soil, is going to absorb the water. And that's different from the future, when the core of the soil, the particulate soil, is already saturated with water. That's different. So as usual, after this, I will keep it in a shaded area, out of high wind, and see if after a month or two, see if it can put on some decent growth. And if it start growing, then I know it survived. Okay, so this is this bonsai from the garbage can, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I will probably see you next time.